Hi there, Matthew here. So in this video we're going to follow on from last week where we just put together a simple text blog with nothing interesting in it. Hopefully yours will have interesting things in it, and in this video I'm going to show you how to add images to it and sort of a header image as well. So I've opened up the blog we did in the last video. It's just simple plain text. So the first thing you'll probably want to do is to add a header image. So this sort of thing. When you go to your blog page, each blog post has a header. Called a thumbnail actually. So to do this you need to go to these options on the right hand side. I've already added one, I'm prepared, but this is what you're looking for, the featured image box. So this can be dragged back up to the top so it's not tucked out the way, and all you need to do is hit set featured image and it'll open up your media library, and you can just pick any old image from your media library, or the usual upload your files where you can bring in a new image. Okay. So select the image that you want, hit set featured image, and this is a square image, but on most of our blogs the images will be cropped to a sort of landscape view, so you'll lose the top and the bottom. So when you're building your images, ask your designer for the exact dimensions if you want to be specific, but a landscape style image will generally work quite well. So if I hit publish now and then go back to our blog once that is saved, and then I'm going to refresh, and you'll see that this new blog post has appeared. I don't think it'll be the top because we built it a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, there you are. So that's our new blog post with its nice new thumbnail image there. Okay, so I'll just remove that for you and show you what it looks like without a thumbnail image. So it will look exactly like you expect, just like this, but without the image in place. There we go. So you see how the image can obviously make your blog much more appealing. So this little checkbox underneath it, don't display on a single post. So what that will do is remove the image from your blog. So it will still appear as the header image here. Let me just refresh the page and show you. So this is our main blog page, and you see the thumbnail image is here. But since we've checked that box that says don't display on single page, if we actually go into the blog itself, notice the image is gone, which would normally appear at the top. Okay, so I'm just going to remove that checkbox, hit update on the page, and this is the normal behavior where that image would appear at the top. Okay, so normally if you're on the blog page, clicking the image will take you into the full article. Once you're in the full article, clicking the image will give you the full version of it. Notice it's not cropped anymore. Okie dokie. Right, so I'm just going to unpublish this back to draft because we don't want this appearing on our blog right now. We'll go more into detail on these options in the next video. Okay, so I've just unpublished that, and I'm going to show you how to insert images into your blog next. So remember from last week's video, this is our read more tag, so anything below this won't appear on the main blog page. You'll have to go into the full article to view what's below this tag. So I want to put a image just after this list. So to do that, I'd go up to the add media button, and you've got a few images here. So add a single media item, anything from your media library. Of course you've got the option to upload a new file. You can create a gallery, an audio playlist, a video playlist, or even set your featured image from within here as well. Okay, insert from URL, the final option. That's if you want to use an image that is not within your media library, so you can link to an image that's on an external website. Okay, but for now I'm just going to pick a normal image and go for this one here, and it opens up some options on the right hand side here. So the URL is where the image is actually stored within your file structure. You can give your image a title and a caption that will appear below the image when it's on your blog page, and the alt text is useful, right? Google will pay a small amount of attention to this, and it is also used in screen readers. So if someone is like visually impaired and they're having your web page read to them by the computer, it will read the alt text instead of obviously displaying the image because they won't be able to see it. Also, if something goes wrong and the image doesn't display, the alt text will be displayed. So it's a good idea to put in a very brief description of what the actual image is. Okay, below that we've got your other options. So alignment, whether you want it left, right, centered, or just don't set anything at all. And the link to, So if you wanted your image to link to an external website, you'd go for custom URL, and that will give you the option to put in a web address there. None, it will just appear as an image. It won't do anything if it's clicked. Media file, that will open the image up in a larger lightbox style thing where the background grays out slightly and the larger image appears in the forefront. And the attachment page, that's a system generated page that you will never want to use, and it's ugly as anything, so never do that. And below that is the size options. So when you upload an image to your media library, it gets crunched down into all these different sizes. So you want to pick a size that's appropriate for how you're going to display it. This can be changed later, so don't worry about getting it right first time. And some of these are cropped and some of them are not. So you're going to probably have to have a play with it a little bit to find the right image. Generally, large or medium or thumbnail if it's tiny, those are the ones you'll probably be going for. These ones don't crop the image, the large and medium. Okay. Generally, your blog page will be about 800 to 1100 pixels wide. So if you're going for a full width image, you'll probably want to go for the large or even full size if your image, this is probably slightly too big for a blog, but if your image is smaller, that might be okay. So I'm just going to go for large for now and insert it into the post. So give it a couple of seconds and the image will pop up here. Okay, so if we click on the image, you've got a few easy options. So if we want it left aligned, right aligned, you'll notice the text will wrap around it if it's left or right aligned, and align center, that will shunt the text above and below it. The other option is no alignment, and that will make the image function as a word, essentially, as if it was a word in the sentence. So if we do that, and I just bring the words up to it, you notice they're pumped along to the side. It looks odd and it's not great, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to put it back to align center. You can drag the image to an appropriate size that you'd like. Excuse Facebook binging there. But remember that you inserted an image of specific dimensions. So we inserted a image about 1000 pixels wide. So you notice it's telling me the size of the image there. If we drag this down to something very small, like 300 pixels wide, that's pointless. That's wasted bandwidth. You're downloading a massive image to the site or to a person's phone when you're only displaying a small image. So what you'd do in this situation, say I wanted it displayed like that, is just hit this edit button, and I'm going to change the size from large to medium, and that is a much more appropriate size for the image that I'm using. And that way the page will load faster, and especially on mobiles, it will cost people less data as well. So there we go. So next I'm going to show you how to add a gallery. So say I don't want just a single image, I want to add a gallery this time. So I'd go to add media again, just the second option, create gallery. So I'm going to go for some larger images, maybe some of the images from our portfolio. There you go. So I've selected these 4 images. Just uncheck the ones you don't want if you select anything in error. Again, you can set the alt text, title and caption over here if you want to. And then I'm just going to hit the create new gallery option down in the bottom right. So to rearrange these images, all you do is drag them around into the correct order you want. If you want to remove them, just hit the X and go back to add gallery to bring them back, or replace them with a different image. So over here we've got a few options. Remember, the attachment page is a system generated page that you generally never want to use. So media file is what I'm going to select, so we get a nice light box. I've got 4 items and I'd like them to display in a single row along the page. So I'm going to set the columns to 4. I could also set it to 2 if I wanted sort of a 2x2 grid, but I'm going to stick with 4 for now. Randomize order, that will arrange the images in a different order every time the page is loaded, if you want that for some reason. And the size, I'm just going to select medium because I know that's about 300 pixels wide, so that's 3, 6, 12, 1500 pixels wide. That'll be plenty big to display a nice crisp resolution on any screen. So there we go, I hit insert and the images appear in the page. Now you'll notice that the images are all different sizes. So that is because the medium, the large and the full size image size options, these ones, so medium, large and full size, they maintain the original image's aspect ratio. So that's a posh word for saying it keeps them at the same dimensions as the ones that are uploaded. They're not cropped in any way. So this image is a lot taller than this image, all right, and same for these two. So if I wanted to change that, I'd go for one of the other sizes, maybe gallery or portfolio, because these ones I know they are cropped. So I'm just going to hit gallery and update, and you can see they've all been cropped to the same size. It's hard to tell on these two because there's white space at the top and bottom, so I'm just going to remove these and add in some different images to give you a better view. So let's say that one and that one. There we go, hit update, and you see all the images are the same size now. Okay, same with the image down here. If we just hit the edit button, we can change any of the options that we want. But the gallery you cannot resize like you can with this image. Okay, the gallery is always sort of the full width. Okay, so I'm just going to hit update on the blog, and then we'll go have a look at it. There we go, and there we go. So I'm going to have a look at the blog now, how to write a blog, and there's our gallery of images just there. And you notice it displays the full image in its full aspect ratio once in the lightbox. Okay, so everything we've covered. So we've covered adding a featured image, adding a single image to your blog post, and adding a gallery to your blog post. I think we'll call it a wrap for now. I'm trying to keep these below 10 minutes, which I have succeeded today. Hooray! Next video we will cover publishing blogs in the future. So if I want to set a scheduled blog to publish in a week's time, say, and other options like draft, pending approval, and private, and even passwording your blogs so that people can't view them unless they have the correct password. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at matt@awesome-source.com. That's SOURCE, and good luck.